Hello, Elizabeth here. Today I am here with a tag. It is the A to Z Bookish Tag, and I was tagged by Emily J. I will leave her channel down in the description so you can check out her video. And let's get started. A is for author you've read the most books from, and for me that is Sarah Shepard with the Pretty Little Liars series. B is best sequel ever, but I couldn't think of a second book in a series, so I went with a third book, and my pick is The Iron Queen by Julie Kagawa. I really enjoyed this book in the series. This is as far as I am in the Iron Fae series. I have yet to read 4, but this one was so much better than the second one. So that's my pick. C is for currently reading, and I am currently reading The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. D is drink of choice, and mine is tea. E is for e-reader or physical books, and I do both. I really enjoy physical books, but then again I really like my Kindle. I like that I can carry a lot of books on it. It's easy to read from, especially in the winter when you just want to be under a blanket and all you have to do is touch to turn the page. It's my favorite. F is for fictional character you would have dated in high school. If you see me looking down, by the way, I'm looking at my computer because I have the list on the screen. So F is fictional character you would have dated in high school, and mine would have been Arnie Cunningham from Christine by Stephen King. We were both really dorky, and I think we would have gotten along just fine. And plus we both like cars, so yeah, that's my pick. G is for glad you gave this book a chance, and that is The Iron King by Julie Kagawa. My sister-in-law was saying that I should read this series, it's so good, it's about fairies, and I was like, fairies? And she's like, they're badass fairies, and I'm like, fairies. But I read it, and I'm glad that I did, because it's one of my favorite series now. So that is my pick for that one, for sure. H is for hidden gem book, and my pick for this is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I feel like many people don't know about that book, but it's a great book. I am a gamer, so I get a lot of the references, and especially the 80s one, because I love the 80s, and it's just, I love that book, and I think more people should read it. So that's my pick for Hidden Gem. I is for important moment in your reading life, and I would have to say that was when I discovered Goodreads, because I didn't have to keep writing down books that I wanted to read on a notebook, in a notebook. I could just do it online, and that it was so much easier. Their recommendations were a little bumpy at first, but once I started reading books, they are right on now, and I love getting my recommendations from Goodreads. So that is definitely my most important moment in reading. J is for just finished, and I just finished The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings. I really like this book. You guys should definitely read it. I gave it 5 out of 5. Thumbs up. Read it now. K is for kinds of books you won't read. I will not read romance. I do not enjoy it. I want to stab myself with scissors when I read it. Okay, that's a little graphic. I'm sorry. But I can deal with romance in a book if it takes the back seat. If it's the front, if it's like the main subject of the book, I just can't. I lose interest and I just can't go on. So I will not read romance. L is for longest book you've ever read, and for me, that is Bone by Jeff Smith. It's pretty hefty. This comes in at 1,341 pages. But it is a graphic novel, so it's mostly pictures. M is for major book hangover because of, and that is The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon for me, because that book was was so amazing. I just couldn't move on from it. I couldn't get into another book. It was just so good that I didn't want to leave. N is for number of bookshelves you own. I have 2. This is one of them. Like I said, I only have 2. Not enough. Definitely not enough. On my other bookshelf, I have 2 layers of books, 2 rows of books on one shelf. They're kind of buckling, so I need another one. O is for one book you have read multiple times, and for me, that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Since I was a kid, I have read this book once a year. It is my favorite book, probably of all time, so this is definitely a book that I read multiple times. P is for preferred place to read, and I have a couple. I'm either in my armchair reading with my cat in my lap, or I'm in my bed, or I'm on my futon/couch. I read all over the place. I don't really have one place that I am, but yeah, wherever really. Q is for quote that inspires you, and I chose, I'm not strange, weird, off, nor crazy. My reality is just different from yours. And that is by Lewis Carroll, and that is from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I love that quote because it really explains me. I'm not like other people. I'm very weird and quirky, so I find that quote helps me a lot in life. R is for reading regret. I regret that I have not read the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. But I am starting it right now, so I will catch up and I will no longer have that regret. S is for series you started and need to finish, and all the books are out in the series. And that for me is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I have only read the first one. I think there are 4 more that I have to read, but I obviously own them. They're all in this book. They're not long, but I still have yet to read them. And I'll get to it. I will. T is for 3 of your all-time favorite books. For me, it's Christine by Stephen King, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, and The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Those are my 3 favorite books. U is for Unapologetic Fangirl 4, and mine are Kendari Blake and Julie Kagawa. I actually met Julie Kagawa at BEA this past year, and I couldn't really say anything because I was just, I flailed a lot, and I was speechless, and I was just fangirling pretty much. I have yet to meet Kendari Blake, but when I do, it's going to be worse. I'm not going to be able to talk. I'm going to just be a blathering mess. So, yeah. V is for very excited for this release, and that for me is Mortal Gods by Kendari Blake. It comes out in September, and it is the 2nd book in the Anti-Goddess series. I think there's going to be 3 of them, but I'm not sure. W is for worst bookish habit, and that for me is buying books. I buy so many books, which is why I need another bookshelf, because I just buy them all. I don't really regret it because I love to read them, but I spend too much money on books, and my husband can probably vouch for that. X marks the spot. Start at the top left of your bookshelf and pick the 27th book. For me, that was Anti-Goddess by Kendari Blake. I was just talking about this. I love this book. I love everything by Kendari Blake. I have yet to hate something she writes, and I don't think I can. I just don't think I can. She's such a great writer, and I love how graphic she is. For YA, it's really nice to see. Y is for your latest bookish purchase, And that is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas for me. Currently reading, too. Very good, very good. Z is for Z Snatcher book, the last book that kept you up way too late. And that, again, was The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon for me. That's the book that gave me the book hangover. It was just such a good book. I just got so into the world, and you should check it out. It's an adult book. I don't know if that turns you off or whatnot. It's an adult book about a ghost, and it's just really good. You should check it out. So that was my A to Z book tag. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you like this video and you want to keep up on more. Not sure what video I'll have next time, but I'm sure it'll be something awesome. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.